Hello, today I'm going to be going over Radion LEDs versus Amazon Blackbox LEDs. Hello and welcome to Sabina Reefing, where we go over product reviews and how-tos, livestock care and selection, maintenance and how-to videos. I think it's important when you're talking about any lighting, whether it's LED, T5, metal halide, or natural sunlight, to talk about what our goals are. A lot of people are looking for efficiency, a lot of people are looking for maximum growth, a lot of people are looking for color. I think there's some that don't matter so much. I do run LEDs and efficiency is just simply not something I care about. I do care about the temperature of the room, so that's one of the reasons I don't run metal halides. But I want my corals to grow, I want my room to be comfortable, and the tank to be good to look at. To me, good to look at means a natural look. I want the shimmer lines on the sand. I don't want a blueberry tank, which you see on a lot of pictures when you're purchasing corals. They use a lot of actinic to really get the fluorescence to pop in the coral. I don't like looking at that tank all day. You can see that my tank is fairly white, but it also has a decent amount of blue. This is pretty close to the color I run normally. I'll insert a clip so you can kind of get the idea of what I'm looking for. I run the Radion Gen 2s and about 14K section, 12 to 14K. And then I use the Kessils Tuna Suns to add those white glimmer lines. So what my goal to imitate was a shallow reef. So I wanted the blanketing blue sky, so I have diffusers on the Radions, and then I wanted those intense white shimmer lines like a sun up in the sky. So it's the goal I went for. Take a look, see what you think. Your goals are going to be different than mine, so take that into account when you're trying to emulate either the sun or that ultra actinic pop or the maximum growth. I still think the maximum growth by most people's definition is either sunlight or metal halide. Both of those don't really make sense for me in my living room. I don't want the Higgett and I don't want a giant skylight in my living room. So maybe LEDs are right for you, maybe T5 is right for you, maybe metal halide, maybe the sun. You got another plan of something to do? Let me know what it is in the plan in the comments below. So this is a Blackbox LED off of Amazon. This one is my used one. It ran for about 3 years. I had 2 of them. One of them started to change colors on me and didn't match the other one. I believe it has to do with these tuning knobs that are on the back. This one I will clean, but I'm actually going to be giving away. All you have to do to win it is to like and leave a comment in below, and I will pick the winner in 1 month and I will mail this LED to them. It's still in working condition. You're right, it's not a $500 LED, but this is a channel with less than 100 people. So if you'd like to enter to win that, all you have to do is like and leave a comment. Some of the advantages of these Blackbox LEDs compared to the Radions is obviously price. Price is a huge thing when you're first starting to get into the hobby. A lot of people recommend go straight for Radions right off the bat. If you're going straight for Radions right off the bat, that means on a nice 40-gallon tank, you could be spending $3,000 or $4,000 if you're getting Radion LEDs, Vortec pumps, Neptune Apex, Trident. You start going down the list, and that's prohibitive when first getting into the hobby. These LEDs can grow coral. They do just fine. I've been using them for about 6 years on my tank. You can see here that it has a fairly flat look. It takes and it fills in. It doesn't have those sharp glitter lines and those hard shadows. It has more of a T5 look than the Radions do without diffusers, but it has less of a T5 look than actual T5s. So they're a good middle ground. They're fairly reliable. I ran it for 3.5 years just about with absolutely no maintenance. So to me, that's a fairly easy thing to maintain. And the way you maintain them after 4 or 5 years when they fail is you throw them away and you buy a new set. I believe I bought 2 of them for $150. I'll have a link in the description below where you can purchase them. So that's a fairly affordable thing to purchase. And another thing I really like about these lights compared to the Radion LEDs is the ease of use. These are literally plug and play. You plug them in. I recommend turning down both channels as far as you can stand and slowly increasing the light until you're happy with it. You don't want to start off in full power. Even though these are not nearly as powerful as the Radion LEDs, you can still bleach coral. I know, I've seen me do it. So they are easy and they're cheap. Are they the highest quality? No. Are they the most efficient? No. But they can get you into the hobby, and they can get you something that's reliable and simple to use and will grow coral. So you don't have to like stick to this light for the next 20 years. 3-4 years, no maintenance, and you go get yourself some Radions after you have a 4-year-old mature reef tank. To me, that's an acceptable middle ground. 4 years out of a light that's 75 to 80 bucks, it's 20 bucks a year. It's not terrible when you consider that a Radions right now are 800 plus bucks, I believe. And okay, 10 years, that's 80 bucks. 20 years, 40 bucks. So the cost needs to be balanced with your budget. Obviously, if you have the money for the budget and you want the Radions, that's when you go for Radions. Radions have a much better lifespan. I've been running the same Radions for they probably only have 4 years of use that I've used, and I believe the person that had them before me used them for 2 years. These are Gen 2 Radion Pros. So they were originally $900, but they've already got 6 years and have had no mechanical or electrical failures. So to me, that is a great light, which is what I expect for a made in America product that is 5 times the cost of anything Chinese. So they do have a better lifespan, which to me also equates to ULM. This is something I do to reduce my maintenance. I don't want to be in there changing lights out and ripping out cables and cords and remounting something new. It's not how I have fun in this hobby. Fragging corals, catching fish, and buying new fish, and quarantining and releasing them and trying to balance the ecosystem, and I enjoy that. Remounting cables, not so much. The spectrum on the Radions is obviously superior to the spectrum you can get out of the Chinese Blackbox. If for no other reason, you can pick the spectrum. Which means you can make mistakes and you can set it the right way. I happen to run about the 12K mode, 12 to 14K, and I then supplement that with the Kessils to add that white shimmer. And then for mounting, there's a lot of different ways. They have some special mounting arms for the Radions. I have a very simple routed out system that I use for almost all of my lights. It just means they just set in place and they can't fall in. It's super simple, really easy to use. And I'm very much for simple and easy to use. They are UL, which is UL listed, which means that if your house burns down because of them, your insurance company will recognize that that's something that was used for what it was designed to be used for. Another big advantage of the Radion LEDs is sunset and sunrise. I don't know if it has any benefits for your corals, but I have noticed a benefit for my fish. They tend to have a more natural, or what I believe is more natural, wake up and sleeping cycle. So they'll get up, they'll swim around slowly and come out gently in the morning. And then I'll start seeing everybody kind of trying to tuck themselves into bed around 9:30. So it's seems to be more normal instead of a sudden light switch on and a sudden light switch off. One thing I really, really love and I highly recommend is either get their new Mobius app or the WXM or their Wi-Fi module. You need to be able to control these lights without going up there in a cable attached to a laptop in your living room on the top of the tank while they're either hanging or sitting over, suspended over salt water. Is not a smart way to program them. Even back in the Gen 2 days, that seemed odd to me. So you're really going to need the WXM module, which I absolutely love. The guys at Neptune did a great job on the module. They've helped me out programming it and getting my lights on the right firmware so that it would talk to the WXM module. I can control all kinds of modes with my tanks. So the nice thing is, as you'll see here in 2 seconds, I can go into my app on my Neptune Apex, and gotta use my thumb code. You want an all blue tank, there you go, all blue. You want a tank that's quiet and ready to film videos for you guys on YouTube, there you go. If you want to just see what it looks like during the normal day, there you go. Oh, you can hear the fan barely turn on. So, back to video mode. So, the WXM module allows a lot of flexibility inside the Radion LEDs. And let's not forget, USA made. You can't go wrong with the USA made electronics. We've been #1 for electronics for a long time, and I'm proud to say this one is up there. I have 2 major disadvantages with the Radion LEDs. One is pretty obvious before you buy it, and it's obvious after you buy it. They're expensive. They're really a high quality piece of electronics, and they charge you for a high quality piece of electronics. I don't see a way around this, and I'm glad I got a good deal on mine, but yeah, the price tag is not small. The second disadvantage is the website. This gripe is about 4 years old. When I got these lights, it was extremely frustrating. They continued to crash when I was trying to program them. So that meant you had to go to the website in order to program the lights. You couldn't just use your computer to program the lights. It was immensely frustrating. And I gather that's why the person sold the LED lights to me. So on one hand, that website was the reason I got good price on the LEDs, but that website was terrible. As a 4-year-old gripe, so I imagine, judging by how popular these lights are now, that gripe has been solved long ago. Thank you for watching this episode of Sabina Reefing. I've got a video here and a playlist. Hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.